Hi both, how are you?
Hello, fine,
Hi.
thanks.
Well, I'm really excited to be able to speak to you today because I absolutely loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic. And something I am curious about, though, Dan, I wanted to start off with. In an ideal world, do you think you would have released this film without letting anyone know about the Predator aspect? Or is that just not possible these days, do you think?
Um, it's almost not possible. Certainly, the thing that would have been exciting that was in the initial pitch for the movie was that the first trailer would not have a title. And you would see the setup of Nadu and what she's experiencing in her tribe and setting off to prove herself. And when she goes off into the woods, there's a fire in the sky, that would be it. And then closer to the release of the movie, we'd see a fuller trailer that would include the bear going after her and then being lifted up by a predator. And that would have been the announcement of what this movie that there already was a trailer for, that people were already wondering what it was going to be. That would have been my favorite version of releasing it. So you get to have some of that secret movie excitement, but with obviously not being able to take that, all the way, because people needed to know what movie they're going to see. But so yeah.
Yeah, of course. And Jhane, I thought it was fantastic how authentic the film felt. So I was wondering if you could maybe talk about your role in ensuring that Prey was respectful and very realistic to that 1700 setting, and more for specifically, obviously, the Comanche Nation as well.
Absolutely. So I'm an enrolled member of the Comanche Nation. I'm Comanche and Blackfeet. So just to have this level of authenticity is amazing because after all, this is the first movie that has ever been put entirely into the Comanche language. And the movie is so good that you can watch it in English, then you need to watch it in Comanche. And just for me as a producer to be able to kind of help facilitate that and bring in all these people that know all of this, if we had a question, I could just text somebody and we'd get an answer just right away. And people were all willing to help because everybody loves the Predator. All the way to the end sequence, like even when you watch the end, the hide art that you see is true to that period because it is after the rock art that you would see like on rocks and cave walls. And then it predates the ledger art that you would see during the reservation era. So everything, and even that art was created by native fine artists, and it just opened a lot of doors for people, and hopefully, in turn, it opens a lot of minds.
Yeah, well, absolutely. As I said, one of my favorite parts of the film. And of course, we've got to talk about the Predator. Don't want to give too much away, but love the design of that character. And I'm curious, Dan, when it came to obviously delivering a Predator that would be familiar to fans, but also doing something new, as we're assuming this is their first time on Earth, what were some of the challenges and exciting parts of that for you?
Exactly as you just laid out, delivering something new, but not changing it too much. I think in the iteration phase with the folks over at ADI who developed the suit, I really said, let's push it. Let's break it first, see what it looks like when it's broken. When we change the design too much, it doesn't look like Predator, and then step back from that. I didn't want this to just be like, oh, a tweak of the eyebrow here, or a tweak of the mandible here. Like I really wanted this to feel like it's an exciting new face to look at it. One of the things that made the first movie so special, at least in the way I remembered watching it for the first time, was that I thought that the Predator was how it looked wearing its biomask. I thought, oh, that's the Predator. That's it. And then there's that amazing moment in the movie preceding Arnold's wonderful quotable line when it takes the mask off. You go, oh, that's not the creature. That's the creature. And so I really wanted our movie to be able to have that in it as well, to have surprise even for diehard fans. So yeah, it was challenging, but I'm delighted to hear that you dug the design. It sounds like people are digging it, and as scary as it was, I thought that it'd be worth it to make a real movie moment yet again in the Predator design.
Yeah, for sure. It works fantastically. And I'm sure once people watch this film, they're going to be anxious for more. So do you both view this as a standalone story, or would you maybe like to come back to this Comanche Nation setting, or even maybe jump to different periods in time across the world as well, different settings?
I think there's definitely something because so many movies are seen as franchise starters. There's something inherently refreshing about a movie that feels complete. And I hope that this movie does feel complete. That said, we do something very, I think, unique in that whereas other movies may have a post-credit scene, we have some storytelling inside our end credits themselves. And it leaves room for lots of different kinds of sequels to be made. And I don't know that we're ready yet to say exactly what we'd want to do next, but I think there's lots of cool opportunities.
Yeah, and same for you, Jhane, I'm guessing as well. Would you like to maybe return to this world, or like Dan, you're just going to wait to see how people respond to this film first?
I would love to return to this world. I like to return to any world where there's where there's Native inclusion and Native representation, because that is my world. So, you know, I would love to return to any Native world.
For sure. And just one very quick final question for you, Dan. What would you say as a filmmaker is a trick to delivering a purely badass, violent predator like the one we see in this film? Because I know fans are going to dig it.
Honestly, the trick is restraint. The trick is embracing all of the different modes that the predator has. There's a cloaked mode. There's a I'm seeing parts of him mode. There's a fully unleashed mode, and you want to make sure that all of those bits are being mined for all that they can contribute to an awesome action sequence.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, Jhane, thank you so much for your time. As I said, love the film. I know fans are going to love it as well, and such a pleasure to speak to you. So thank you again.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.